Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ये याद रखना, हम जैसे बोल रहे हैं कि दिस आर सेल्फ एड्रेस प्रेयर. जब बोलते हैं तो उसी को ध्यान में, भावना में लाने से इसका इफेक्ट होगा. वॉट एवर वी आर सेइंग वर्ड्स, those have to be the bhavartha, the real meaning of the, not only shabdartha but bhavartha. What should be the bhava corresponding to it? That has to be brought to the mind. By that the effect will be there. It is not that somebody is sitting in the heaven, he will give us the effect. समझे ना? Normal prayer we think God is sitting in the yonder sky and he will give us this, give us that. In Upanishads, in spirituality, that delusion has to go. It is our aspiration, our bhava, whatever we generate in the mind, that produces the effect. It is absolute scientific, nobody can question it. Whether their God exists or not, it doesn't matter. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha. Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanubhihi. Sthirairangaihi stuštuvamsastanubhihi. Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. See, here also we are saying Bhadram Karnebhi Srinuyama Devaha. Bho Devaha, we are calling all the Devaha, means those who are original powers of nature. Deva, the word has come from Dip Dhatu. Dip Dhatu means brilliance. Like our soul has got its own brilliance, like that consciousness, power of consciousness, when it manifests through various natural powers, they are regarded as Devas. Like Varuna, Indra, Surya, they are all themselves are a power as far as we know, that they are to us an individual power. They are all, we are small human beings, they are cosmic beings which embodies the power. That means the consolidated power of the whole nature, like that. Them we refer to as Deva. So we are addressing those powers that Bhadram Karnebhi Srinuyama. That is all these. Actually, why are we praying to the powers? Because they are manifesting through our sense organs. The eye, the vision, the Agni is expressing through our eyes. The Akasha is expressing through our ears. Like that, the natural powers, our Indriyas are born of that. They are functioning with that power. So when we are praying to that power means actually we want our Indriyas to function with the proper purity and proper proper truth orientation. So we are saying Bhadram Karne Bhishanuyama. Whatever we are hearing with the ears, may we hear only the Bhadra. Bhadra means what? Bhadra means auspicious, but when you think deeply, see, auspicious we have a certain idea. To make them our sadhana, to practice them, we have to think more elaborately, deeply. What is that is making us abhadra? Is it not the same ragadvesha which we have been discussing all the days? The bheda buddhi, that this is mine, this is others, I am thinking specially about my own things, I am thinking a little negatively about the others, all these things. This is either called bheda buddhi or called ragadvesha. The clinging to what likes and dislikes, clinging to what I like and hating what I dislike. This is taking away our real vision of the world. Is it not? We are not able to see the world as it is. So Bhadra means the cleared of this ragadvesha or bheda buddhi. So when whatever we hear, it generates in our mind, removes from the mind the ragadvesha, that sound becomes Bhadra. Most probably this sound, whatever we are hearing, is Bhadra, because what are we trying to do with these words? We are trying to remove our ragadvesha. All words we can make it a sadhana for us by thinking deeply about it. So may we hear the Bhadram sound. Bhadram means which does not have the Bheda Buddhi or Ragadvesha. The auspicious, they become the auspicious. Bhadram Pashyema Akshabhir Yajatraha. Oh Yajatraha. Yajatra means the who is officiating the jajnas, means who is the power of the Agni. Our jajna is depending on fire. So that is the power supplied to our eyes. So we are praying, we are addressing him, we are saying, may we see everything as Bhadra. That means whatever is creating Ragadvesha in us, if we remove the Ragadvesha, then we become Bhadra. The seeing whatever we see. It is not that the world is changing by that. But our vision, what we are perceiving in the world, that changes. So our sadhana is not going to change. It may change, that is not the primary, that is secondary. Primary purpose is to change ourselves so that we see the world as auspicious. Everything becomes auspicious. Nothing creates any affectation, any disturbances as. Just like you should be able to relate everything. We often quote that Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana verse. What is that? Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi. Purne manasi. This you should learn. Would you learn now? You have learned already? Some. Purne manasi sampurnam. Purne. See, pu is long. Purne manasi sampurnam. Jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi. Upanat gudhapadasya. Upanat gudhapadasya. Upanat gudhapadasya. Nanu charma stritaiva bhuhu. 3-4 हो गया, बाकी सब कोई चुप कर गए ना. Nanu charma astrita iva bhuhu. What is it saying? Purne, this is called Sati Saptami, that is conditional state. Purne manasi. When the mind becomes full. See, यहाँ पे सप्तमी यूज किया जाता है, जैसे इस conditional. Purne manasi, when the mind becomes full. Now the full I have explained, it is not just getting something I like it becomes full. It is not like that. The mind becomes full means it does not suffer again from the Bheda Buddhi, Raga, Dvesha, etc. It finds Atma, that not Atma as an object everywhere, but it finds everything is embraced by me. Then only the mind becomes Purna. So Purne Manasi, when the mind becomes full, Jagat Sarvam Sampurnam Bhavati, Sudhadravaihi Sampurnam Bhavati. Jagat Sarvam, everything, the whole world becomes flowing with nectar. Sudhadravaihi. Sudha means your milk is Sudha company, na? Yaha Jamshedpur mein Sudha na? Dudh company. So Sudha actually means nectar. So Jagat Sarvam Sudhadravaihi Sampurnam Bhavati. The entire world becomes flowing, pervaded with, flooded with Sudhadrava, nectar. जैसे वो एग्जाम्पल दे रहे हैं, उपानत गूढ़पादस्य ननु चर्म आश्रिता इव भूहु. दैट आप दुनिया में नंगा पैर चलेंगे तो इफ़ यू वॉक बेयर फुट, everywhere you will get dust. Wherever you go, some different kind of everything will touch you. It will, your feet will get affected. So if you don't want to touch the dust, are you going to cover the whole earth with leather? Can you do it? Whole earth सब वो function में करते हैं. When there is a festival, you put carpet so that people can walk after leaving there. But you cannot afford to cover the whole earth always. Then that leather will become dirty, and again your legs will, feet will become dirty. So it's not possible. So what do? You put your feet into the shoes. So you cover your feet with the leather, and wherever you walk it becomes clean for you. Do you get it? Like that, when the mind becomes full, even if you meet your enemies or those who are maligning you, abusing you, you don't get touched by that. Him also you love, you have all welfare orientation towards him, you feel about welfare about him, you don't have any problem at all. Sarvam Jagat Sudhadravaihi Sampurnam Bhavati. It's a beautiful shloka. That example is so vivid that simply we have to work on our mind. लोग सोचते हैं कि ये जगत को स्वामी जी कैसे ठीक बनाएंगे, सब खराब है. अरे खराब आप देखते हैं, मन में खराब है, इसलिए आपके मन से खराब ही निकली है. You are seeing the world wrong because your mind is filled with all kinds of raga, dvesha, wrong and all. Clean up your mind, the world will become, even the worst of the person also, you will not find any problem. You will be able to love him fully, you will be able to speak, thinking only welfare for him. If you give him a pranadanda also, you will give it out of love. That's for the kings it was essential. They have to give pranadanda. Pranadanda means capital punishment. A king has to give capital punishment to the wrongdoer. Otherwise the country will be suffering. The good people will suffering. The bad people will sit on their neck. So to rule a kingdom, you have to always look after the good people and punish the bad people. But it is not out of ghrina, out of hatred, out of intolerance. You have to punish, it is your duty. For the welfare of all, you will do it. So in that process, in giving capital punishment, a good king, a knower king, a rajarshi would feel lot of pain because he has to give punishment, and he is giving out of love for everybody only, not because of hatred. So he will do everything but without getting affected by anything. It's such a great mindset our scriptures and our civilization has produced, because they were living this. So many kings' life has been described by Kalidasa and others. If you feel reading, it is so fulfilling. So, Purne Manasi Sampurnam Jagat Sarvam Sudhadravaihi Upanat Gudhapadasya Nanu Charma Astrita means covered. Nanu Charma Astrita Iva Bhuhu. When you put the feet into the shoes, is it not the whole world is getting covered by leather? Effectively. Purne Manasi Sampurnam Jagat sarvam sudhadravai upanad gudhapadasya nanu charmastritaiva bhuh. Like this, isi tarah, bhadram, I have explained it in great detail in Mundaka Upanishad as well as other in Shanti Mantras also. This bhadram term, I have been taking quite a few classes to explain. So some of the people even now, they say that whenever we misbehave, that bhadram word comes behind, the bhadram, bhadram, bhadram. So immediately they correct their behavior. This can be used like a tool. That the moment I am going to speak in a non-bhadra manner, in a rough manner or so, not thinking of the welfare of others or so, immediately the bhadram word strikes our mind. It depends on how much, this is the benefit of sadhana, how much we are giving our mind, how much we are spending mind hours on it. Depending on the life will undergo change. So they said that, they means at least 4 or 5, there are many those days who were attending, that the bhadram word has changed their life. Because it is a small word, just like a mantra we chant, just two-lettered mantra. So if we deeply have the bhavana of that, the bhava of that bhadra in our mind, you will find that the moment you are fighting with your colleague or co-devotee or somebody on the street, that bhadram word will come. Your behavior will be immediately modified, will be moderated. You will say whatever to be said, but not in an angry manner, rough manner, fighting manner. So that is why these are called self-addressed prayer. Suppose when we are saying purity, 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 if we ask from God that give me purity, nothing will happen. But what is that purity? You can call God, give me this, give me that, no purpose will be served. When you are asking for may I have purity, or you ask God also, but in that case, what is that purity? It should dawn in your mind. What do we mean by the purity? So immediately the mind will become pure. The result is instantaneous, not that I have prayed and after 1 year God will sanction my prayer. It's not like that. Immediately the mind force will bring in the corresponding change. It's instantaneous. Then bhadram karnebhi shrunuyama devaha bhadram pashyema akshabhihi. Akshabhihi means with the eyes. Yajatraha. Oh the force which are looking after the Agni, oh fire, may we see only the bhadram, auspicious scene. In front there will be inauspicious things also, but you will see only the bhadra. So when there is somebody had an accident or dying or so, you will find that the house people, they are not able to see bhadra there. They will be howling, crying, why this has happened, this, that and all. There will be a lot of agitation and all, if it is their own people then. But for a saint, when the saint goes there, he doesn't start crying along with the other people. So somebody thinks that if you don't cry with them, then you are not sympathizing. If you are crying with the crying people, then you are not helping them. You have to help them console. For that, if you also start crying, howling and all that, will they be consoled? It will be reinforced further. By expression, the shoka, the grief will come down perhaps in magnitude when you all together you start, in Banaras you will see that they go to the smashana and they hire some people to cry. तिवारी जी जानते होंगे, आप लोग देखे नहीं, हम तो देखे रिक्शा में बैठ के डेड बॉडी ले जा. They are hired people. Some women are hired. They cry. हाँ, हम बनारस में देखे हैं, इसीलिए हम बोल रहे हैं. So actually we are there. It is not, we are not invoking bhadrata. Bhadram will be when you see yes, it is a destruction, it is a mrityu, but janma mrityu are both two sides of existence. Without Mrityu, there cannot be Janma also. The whole thing, Janma, change and Mrityu, decay and Mrityu, these are all an integrated harmony. If vapor would not come out of the sea, the rivers will dry up. Everything is going in a cycle, and see the whole thing, like the auspiciousness lies in seeing the whole truth. And in that case, whatever is the Mangala, whatever is auspicious will come out. So you will find that the house people are consoled. When the saint comes, visits them, they are consoled. They may shed tears, but the grief and the overreaction will immediately get moderated. It is also there, sloka is there. What is that? Shunyam akirnatameti mrityurapyutsabhayate apat sambhadiva bhati vidvajjana samagame. Vidvajjana means a wise person, a knower, visiting. Vidvajjana samagame. What happens when a wise person visits? Shunyam akirnatameti. That where there is absolute vacuum, that is feeling of loss, shunyata feeling, that becomes purna. That shunya becomes purna. The people, those who are absolutely depressed, feeling, what do you call it? There is a term for it. Vacuum. It gets filled. Shunyam akirnatameti mrityuh api utsavayate. The mrityu, where there is a death, that becomes utsava, festival. Now when we say festival, immediately you will think of the usual, our festival in our country, the word is utsava. Ut means elevation. That is, all our festivals, you will find there is a puja associated with it. Because normally our utsava was never like drinking and merrymaking and rolling on the road as it is now. In the name of festival, they will drink. That is the common thing. In famous temples also, it is the drinking is the effect of the utsava. It was never like that. Utsava means which elevates us, which will makes us high-seated. Our mind is elevated by that. So in Mrityu, normally our mind becomes depressed. When we are surrounded by Mrityu, or Mrityu is going to come, or Mrityu has happened, death has happened, our mind becomes depressed. So if a Vidvajjana comes, that depressed mind will be elevated. So the event of Mrityu, instead of becoming a point of depression, it becomes a time of elevation for them. They feel relieved actually. They feel the freedom. And they do not overact for somehow saving and bringing back to life a half person or a 1/4 person. They will not do all these things. The death will also become very auspicious. Death is auspicious. We are not able to see it as auspicious. Mrityurapi utsavayate. Apat sampadiva bhati. Suppose there is some danger has come. The Vidvajjana will say that the danger has come. You have to go to a higher dimension to course through the danger. Normally we get defeated by the danger. What danger or any adverse situation you can say. We generally immediately get defeated by the situation. That is, we start getting scared, fear, we have fear, we become fearful, we lose our courage, we lose our self-seatedness. That is our facing the adverse situation. But the Vidvajjana will make you that you take it as an opportunity and grow to a higher dimension of the mind so that you can course through. So when there is a danger, it becomes a apat sampadiva bhati, it becomes a treasure for him. Bipade jano na jano kori bhai. Rabindra Sangit is there. Bipade more raksha karo enahe more prarthana. Bipade ami na jano kori bhai. That, oh Lord, I don't pray that you save me in danger. I don't pray that you save me in danger. You only bless me that I don't fear danger. Bipade ami na jano kori bhay. Dukkho tape vyethito chitte naiba dile shantana. Dukkho jano korite pari joy. In the suffering, tapa, vyethito chitte, when people have said so many things or things are so many things that I am getting pained by whatever people are saying, I don't look for consolation from you, O Lord, in such a situation. Even when the mind is pained, when I am pained, I am in suffering, I don't want expect any consolation from you. Only, O Lord, bless me, grace me with the power that I can win over the dukkha. Dukkha jano korite pari joy. That means I can win over dukkha. How do you win over? By accepting the dukkha and rising of that, not getting affected by the dukkha, not getting won over by the dukkha, but winning over the dukkha. That, oh dukkha, you come. You are also my friend. You are also sent by my Lord. So I am getting the touch of you in dukkha. That is, in sukha, as we feel the grace of Lord, in dukkha also we should feel the grace of Lord. The moment our mind becomes bhadra, the mind becomes expansive. Dukkha is a blessing, because in dukkha we go to higher depth, greater depth, and more and higher level also. Dukkho tape vyethito chitte naiba dile shantana. I am not asking for consolation from you in suffering or pain. Dukkho jano korite pari joy. But you give me the power that I can win over the dukkha. I should not get depressed by dukkha. Same tone he says in another place, Jeke ho more diyechu sukho, diyechu tari porichoy, shabare ami nomi. Those who have given me sukha, through that sukha they have given me your touch, O Lord. Generally, through sukha, we don't get the touch of Lord. In the sukha, we get indulging and we get completely drowned in the indriya sukha or mental sukha. We don't think of Lord there. That it is also coming from the Lord, that we don't remember. Even when we get riches, money or whatever, we don't think of Lord. We don't get a touch of Lord there, that it has come through Him. Those who have given me sukha, through that sukha they have given me your touch, O Lord. So I prostrate before them. He is prostrating before the people who have given him sukha. Not because of the people, but because through the sukha they have given, O Lord, your touch. So I prostrate before them, that I have got a touch of Lord through them. Jekeho mere diyecho dukho, diyecho tari porichaya, shabare ami nomi. Those who have given me sorrow, given me suffering, through that suffering and sorrow they have given me your touch, O Lord. We don't get, that is why we get depressed in the dukkha. But when we get the touch of Lord through dukkha, then we prostrate. So I prostrate before them also. All these are there everywhere. We have to absorb it and apply it. So, Bhadram karnebhi shrunuyama devaha, Bhadram pashyema akshabhirijajatraha, Sthiraihi angaihi tushtuvam saha tanubhihi vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. It's a long sentence. Devahitam yadayuhu. Yat ayuhu devahitam. That means we are born with a certain ayus. Ayus means a span of life. Is it not? Each is born, the span is different for different people. Who has given the span? Nature. We are born, we are a product of nature. And the natural forces have given me, the natural powers, they have given me a certain span of life. Now, Deva Hitam Yat Ayuhu means the span of life which has been given by the Devas or by nature, by Prakriti, whatever span of life is given. Sthiraihi angaihi tushtuvam saha tanubhihi. Remaining with proper stable limbs, proper stable limbs with proper body, By praising though the nature, I should be able to live that span of life sanctioned by nature. This, my life has been given by nature, and whatever power, it is all given by nature. So in living that span of life, I should be thankful to nature. So it is that ecology that is coming from there. We are not a segregated something, we want only our welfare. In our vision, the whole nature should be alive. That we should think of the welfare of nature. We should not pollute the air, we should not pollute the rivers, we should not pollute the sea. Then our life also will get corrupted. If we are born out of pollution, we will suffer from all the diseases. Analyze it happening now. I went to Wayanad for treatment. There one doctor, lady doctor was there. She was always putting mask. It was COVID period. So nobody else was putting. So one day I asked the main doctor that here nobody is wearing mask. He said, we did not have a single case of COVID in our center because of the living style, the trees, plants and whatever they do, and some Ayurvedic things are there. If somebody has some fever or so, they may give. Then one day the other doctor came, lady, young lady. I asked that in this area, the whole area, nobody wears mask, but I am finding you always putting on the mask. Even when you are seeing the patient or moving on the road, I find always, I did not know how is her face. I first asked her to remove the mask so that I can identify later. This I have to ask in many cases because I am not able to identify. When they remove the mask, you are that person. So then she said that, actually I am a patient myself because I am a local. I am born here in Wayanad, in that particular place where the center is made. She is born there, and there what happened is that they had rubber plantation. It was full of rubber plantation. So with helicopter they were spraying DDT, which is banned now. At that time, long back, to make the rubber plantation insect free. It's a huge rubber plantation. So over that, from the air, they were spraying DDT to that entire area. After some decades, they found that children are born with cancer. From womb, they are delivered, the just born children, babies, they are having cancer. Actually, before that I asked that here I find that all the young boys and all those who are moving around either catching fish or so, we used to see that. I used to think that it's such a healthy place with so much of trees and all, why they look so unhealthy, very unhealthy. He said that, then the main doctor said that our establishment of this center was because of this only. They are initiated by one guru who is from Palghat. Seeing the place, he said that this place has to be converted, that is transformed into Bhadra. How do you do it? Remove the entire plantation. They got some financier who will invest money. They took the lease of the entire land over there, over the hilltop. It is a junction of Western Ghat and Eastern Nilgiri Hills, the Tiger Reserve. It's a buffer zone of the Tiger Reserve. So they removed all the rubber plantation, and instead these people, they planted all medicinal trees. It's about 25, 26 categories of medicinal plants. Many other small plants also, mainly the medicinal trees. The whole place had been filled with the medicinal plants, medicinal trees, to revive the atmosphere also. So this is very important, that the nature, we are born of nature, we should think of the welfare of nature. Sthiraihi angaihi. Sthiranga means healthy limbs. Tushtuvam saha. Tushtu means it has come from toshana, from stava. That means singing praise of nature. By our body, whatever span is given by nature, that span may we live praising nature for the life nature has given to us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So this is the Atharva Veda, Mundakopanishad, this is there. There are two more lines which is sometimes taken, sometimes avoided also. Okay, we get back to our... Oh, it's already 10:45. Theek hai, this is part of everything, we should know. Now, yesterday we had done up to Titiksha Uparati, up to that. Titiksha. And we are left with Shraddha, Samadhana and Mumuksha. Mumukshutva or Mumuksha, both are okay. I would like to repeat that Titiksha is the Vivekachoodamani 24th. It says, I just recited but did not do the full. Sahanam sarvadukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilapa rahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. That is Titiksha. I have already discussed the sarvadukkhanam sahanam apratikara purvakam. Apratikara, I said that it is not to be taken in figurative manner. Pratikara we can do. But never forget that you have to apply the acceptance button. That is the way. That means whatever has taken place in time, already it is past. You can never go back. Without acceptance, what can you do? First of all, the first step. See, this should din into your mind in the as deep as possible, that you should never forget. Whatever has happened, can you do anything? You cannot do anything. Even scientifically, you cannot go back in time. So you have to accept. First of all, you have to accept it. And the trouble, the stress and the strain we are feeling is not because whatever has happened. It is mainly because my mind is not ready to accept whatever has happened. That non-readiness of the mind has to be treated. And that can be treated by accepting whatever has happened. Even if you don't accept it has happened. So only you make your mind to accept it. That is what we have to do. And the moment you accept it, the mind goes to a peaceful situation without stress. It is no more under stress, no more under strain. So such a mind can seek for the pratikara, the redress, in the best possible manner, because the peaceful mind will have the greatest efficiency. It can look for the redress. And redress is always there. It will come from the mind itself. Often redress is right there. We are missing it because of our agitation of the mind. We think we have preference and prejudice, so the redress should come up from my friend or from a beautiful person or from a gentlemanly person, not from a beggar. But actually the redress can come from anywhere, which you may detest. That is why we are not able to have it. So that you know about Swamiji must have told so many times, I have also told, that when Rama was not able to kill Ravana repeatedly, all his arrows, everything he tried, he could not. One head was cutting, he was cutting one head. By the time he cuts the other head, this head come back. Like that it was happening. It is described to tell us the truth. Then what did Rama do? Valmiki says, Rama meditated on his Vaishnava Rupa. What is Vaishnava Rupa? Generally it is said Rama is Vishnu avatar and all. But we have to understand what is Vishnu. Vishnu means Vyapnoti iti Vishnu. Vishnu is the term for Atma, for Brahman, for consciousness. The word Vishnu means Atati Vyapnoti. Vyapnoti iti Vishnu, which is all pervading. That is the consciousness. And everybody has got that Vaishnava Rupam. Not only Rama had. We say Rama was Vishnu avatar, so he had. Everybody, all of us are having the Vaishnava Rupa. If you become zero, you go into the Bodha, the Atma, get back to your Atma, forgetting the world, then that is our Vaishnava Rupa. So, Rama meditated on his Vaishnava Rupa and then released the arrow, and it pierced Ravana's chest, which was the only point in his case. He had vara that anywhere else he cannot be harmed. He could not be attacked. So he fell dead at that point. So this becoming zero means what? It is the the highest possible or transcendental peaceful state of the mind. Becoming zero. And from there the solution comes up. The real solution is there. It comes from there. Sometimes not knowing also, whatever we do, we may not do knowingly that, oh, I have to hit the chest or so. You will hit and it will happen, because all the solutions in the world are in the womb of the Atma or consciousness. This is a solution in everyday life also. Whenever we have ransacked everything and not getting the solution, we should become zero. The solution will dawn in the mind automatically. That is why many of the scientists, they get the solution when they get up in the morning. They have been working for 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, doing with this equation, that equation. Suddenly when he gets up in the morning, oh, that eureka. How it happens? Because the mind was absolutely peaceful. He might have had a very good sleep, and the preparatory ground was already there by his sadhana, whatever he did. Otherwise, the expression in terms of mathematics and all, they will not be able to do. But the real solution dawned when the most peaceful state of the mind. Anybody can experiment and find it to be true. It's a fact. Those who are initiated, you will find that when you cannot find a solution to anything, you go on doing the japa in your mind, not exactly in your mind, so that the mind will come away from the surrounding events and all which is pressurizing you. Withdraw the mind from there, and the solution will automatically come to your mind. Either through your mind or nature will bring the solution. You will find that it is being solved. हो गया. मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया, लेकिन हो गया. I did not do anything, it happened. So, this chinta vilaparahitam. Apratikara means pratikara, we are not immediately upset by that, no, why it has happened, I must get it, I must get it. That pratikara will not be there. Thought of pratikara will not be there. At the same time, chinta vilaparahitam. You should not go on howling and crying and what has happened, it has happened. You accept it. Simply press the acceptance button. The mind will become peaceful and the solution comes in this manner. Even if it doesn't come, doesn't matter. That is called the Titiksha. As far as Vivekachoodamani is concerned, the verse number 25. You can chant following me. Shastra. Acha, this one did not chant, na? Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam Titiksha nigadyate chinta vilaparahitam Titiksha nigadyate. The example is when Nachiketa was sitting in the Yama palace, in front of the Yama palace for 3 days, 3 nights, without food, without drink. He did not go away to get fed properly and come back and then again see. By the time Yama would have come and gone also, again he would have missed, who knows. He just remained there, sahanam, by forbearing the food and hunger and thirst and all. Shastrasya guruvakyasya satya buddhya dharanam. Shastrasya guruvakyasya satya buddhya dharanam. Sa Shraddha kathita sadbhihi. Sa Shraddha kathita sadbhihi. Yaya vastu palabhyate. Yaya means by which, Tritiya Vibhakti. Yaya, Vastu. Vastu in Shastras, in Vedanta Shastra, Vastu as such means objects. But the object of Vedanta Shastra, that what is the purpose of the Vedanta Shastra, that is also called Vastu. That means the truth, the ultimate truth, the Atma, Brahman, or the ultimate truth. So, Vastu upalabhyate. Upalabhyate means is gained, is attained. Yaya means by which the truth or the ultimate truth or the ultimate gain is attained. How? Shastrasya guruvakyasya satya buddhi avadharanam. That is, in our mind, in our buddhi, keeping that faith or the conviction, more than faith, the conviction that whatever the Shastras are saying and whatever the Guru is saying, it is true. See, one can, to make the conviction, one can apply reason. That how is it that when in our society generally, even if you write a very good novel or a poem or so, 200-300 years it may live. More than that will it live? People will forget. Mao Zedong was a great poem. Whatever poems he had written, by the time he was ruling, 50 years had passed, and that generation was not able to understand what he had written, because the Chinese language was given to a lot of changes. Even if the language doesn't change, suppose Shakespeare, who all are reading now? Some dramas and all that, then we are coming to know. Mostly any literature, it can remain a few hundred years. Beyond that, it doesn't stay. How is it that from prehistoric time, how many thousands of years, we don't know, because it is prehistoric. All this truth, Sanatana Dharma, or the truth of our self, our real identity, how is it remaining for so many thousands of years without any tarnishing, without any that? Still, in every era, people have been there to practice it and reconfirm it. So, should we not have faith, conviction about the scientific truths? How do we know? How much do we know? Many of the scientific truths which we think to be true, they are not true actually. It's only an initial, say even the mechanics, the law of motion and all, they are not really true. They had to be changed. But all of us will think that Newton's laws. If you go beyond 11th class, you will be taught that Newton's laws are not the correct laws. You have to replace with Einstein's laws. You have to replace with quantum laws. Then you have to combine the two. You have to replace with quantum electrodynamics or quantum relativistic theory. Everything is getting changed there. But we have great faith on it because scientists have said. But here our rishis have experimented and recorded this truth. And in every era there had been some people who have practiced this and confirmed it and reconfirmed it. In the Shastras itself it is said that you have to know from the Shastras initially, hear from the Guru or the Shastras, but finally you have to experience it. And then you confirm with the Shastra statement that yes, it is so, I know that it is so. This is the way, it is absolutely rational. So why should we not have faith in that? We may say that what the Shastras are saying or the Guru is saying, I am not able to understand the depth of it or the real meaning of it. That we can always say. That is the humble way of a seeker. But you cannot say that all these are wrong, they have people, it's all meaningless, it's a disease, it should be eradicated. All these are nonsense. Even with rational mind also you cannot neglect. So this conviction comes from applying our vichara, applying our rationality, our reason. By reasoning itself it gets further confirmed, and finally it becomes ours. So Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharanam. That Satya Buddhi, the Buddhi should be fixed on them that yes, this is the truth. Whether I understand or not, I have to go deeper into it and try to understand what they are saying. Sa Shraddha Katita Sadbhihi. Those who are the wise people, the knowers, they call that as Shraddha. That this Satya Buddhi in Shastra and Guru Vakya is called Shraddha. Now go to 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. It is exclusively on Shraddha of three kinds: Sattvika, Rajasa and Tamasa Shraddha. They are just one or two shlokas we have to. Third shloka, 17.3. Can chant. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayoyam purushaha yo yat shraddhassa eva saha. विसर्ग पूरा उच्चारण करना चाहिए. यो यत् श्रद्धस्स एव सः. See, if you pronounce properly, you will find even if you don't know the meaning will strike your mind. This is the peculiarity of Sanskrit language, that if you pronounce properly all the words, then you will find that somebody chanting the shlokas with very good ucharana, we are able to understand the meaning. At general bhava meaning will be understood if they do it properly. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayoyam purushaha yo yat shraddhassa eva saha. This second line, the Shraddha maya ayam purushaha yo yat shraddhaha sa eva saha. He is saying that a human being, a person, is an embodiment of Shraddha. We are, in reality, an embodiment of Shraddha. Whatever Shraddha we have, we are that. Why is he saying like that? Because whatever we are doing on our bodies and all, that is not of so importance. Whatever we are in our mind, in our internal level, that is what we are. Is it not so? Whatever you are doing outside, it is seen, known. But our life will depend on whatever we are within our mind and buddhi and there. Now, Shraddha means whatever you are valuing in life. Shraddha means whatever you are valuing. Now, whatever you value to be the most important in life, will your mind not only think about that constantly throughout the day or so? Suppose you value money, then your all thoughts will be always veering around money. That how not to lose money, how to gain more money, how to become the richest, one of the richest, how to become still further, all these things, what business we should do and everything. It is all coming from the desire for money. That means the mind is spent, we are spending mind hour on money. Our whole, if we value money most, we will spend maximum mind hour on money, and your mind will become an embodiment of money, money-oriented mind. Similarly, if you are so much given to thinking about fame, you want fame, then you are valuing fame and you will always look for fame. We had a boy here who was not so normal in his age. He wanted to become a president of India. And for that he was doing all sorts of things. What for the president of India? He was valuing the power of the president or the fame of the president, because president doesn't have any power. He was the most powerless person in the country perhaps. But he has the fame that he is the head of the country, so-called head of the country. So a boy who has not done even proper studies or so, but his only aim, and whatever we would talk, it would finally come to that we had to suggest him how he can become president. And the poor boy finally committed suicide at a very young age. So It is, we are, by spending mind hour, we are making our life. We are becoming that. Whatever we are spending mind hour, we become that. Shraddha mayaha ayam purushaha yo yat shraddha sa eva saha. You become that. Now the first thing is how you are evaluating the world. Whatever we are assigning maximum value, our focus goes there. We spend our mind hours on that. We go on thinking about that, and whole life goes around that. So, spirituality, what is the medicine for that? You have Shraddha towards the Atma, or the ultimate goal, or unchanging, imperishable truth. There also, how do you have it? Now you are spending mind hours on what I desire, what I want from the objective world, what situation I like, all these things. You take the mind and spend mind hours on that unchanging truth, that imperishable truth, that universal truth, which embraces the whole world, which doesn't have any personal or partial preference, prejudice, likes, dislikes, clinging, sangha, this, that and all. So, is it not the same as we are discussing in the night, the buddhi yoga? Anchoring the buddhi in the truth of our inmost identity. So, Shraddha also means when we value that as the supreme. So, what the shastras are doing is that we are always given to think of Lord as supreme. We say also the Bhagwan as supreme. But बोलने से नहीं होगा. By saying it will not happen. We have to give the supreme position in life. This statement you should not forget. As long as we are not giving the supreme position in life, it won't work. If we evaluate the supreme as supreme, we are calling him supreme, but we are not giving supreme the supreme value. So जब कुछ मिलना है, when we are after some gain, we will run to all here, there and all. But when everything fails, then we will think of God. Like police, we go to the police when we cannot do anything. The last, it is not the supreme, it is the lowermost position we give. All other things are higher. हमारे बेटी को शादी होना है, हमारी बेटी का एक बच्चा होना है, और हमारे एक बिल्डिंग बनना है, उनको नौकरी अच्छा मिलना चाहिए. हमेशा मन में वही भरा हुआ है. वो वैल्यू उसको देते हैं, सुप्रीम उनको बनाते हैं, भगवान को सुप्रीम नहीं बनाते हैं. So Shraddha means the evaluation we have, the value we assign. So they are saying the Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharana. That is, the Shraddha should be towards whatever the Shastras are saying and the Guru is saying. They are only saying that give supreme the supreme value, that your Shraddha should be on that truth. They are saying that what you are, but you don't know. Giving supreme value. When we give supreme value, automatically we will give that much of attention to it. Is it not? Depending on our valuation, the attention also will be there. So as we are inattentive about this, we will not get the benefit of it also, get the corresponding fruition also. So it changes our attention. So, but the first line is saying that Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. He says that whatever a person is made of, that sattva means that he is made of the elements of him. The Shraddha becomes according to that. So the question should come that then how can we have Shraddha for this? If I am already made with a certain Shraddha, certain kind of qualities, then I am bound by that. How can I have Shraddha towards the Supreme? That question should come, Sattvanurupa. Well, it is true that some are born with a certain quality. So accordingly the Shraddha will be there. Some are born Sattvika. So their Shraddha will be always for Sattvika food, Sattvika dress, Sattvika surroundings, Sattvika reading, Sattvika seeing film, everything. It will be automatically by nature. By nature means it mainly depends on the heredity. So that part we are getting from the heredity. Some people are born Rajasa. So they will be given to lot of activity and all, not so much of knowledge and enlightenment. Some are born Tamasa. So they will be mostly given to idleness, laziness, not thinking and all. Laziness is not only physical. You think physical laziness we may not have that much, but you see how much of the time in a day we are using our buddhi. Buddhi are properly directing the mind. We are not using. We are more mentally lazy than physical. Physical activity we will do, but mental if we have to do something thinking about the truth or so, you will sleep, you will doze. The mind does not remain alert. So the question is that, well, it is according to that, but we can change our sattva. That is, our elements of the being can be changed by cultivating corresponding gunas. If we are born tamasic, we have to strive to acquire rajasa gunas and sattva guna, so that the tamasa bondages can be overcome. If we are born rajasa, then we have to cultivate sattva guna to overcome the rajasa bondage. So then the Shraddha also correspondingly will be changed. They are saying it not with the idea that if you are born as a rajasa person or a tamasa person, there is no way that you can have this sattvika qualities. It's not that. It means that you are born with something, but you are, by your sadhana, by your cultivation, you can change your quality. That also depends on the value. Suppose your value system you change somehow, accordingly you try, and then it will automatically undergo further changes. That is, by Viveka, all these things will come. Next is Samadhana. We'll just read the shloka. Vivekachoodamani, 26th verse. Sarvada sthapanam buddheः शुद्धे ब्रह्मणि सर्वथा तत्समाधानमित्युक्तम् न तु चित्तस्य लालनम् सर्वदा स्थापनं बुद्धेः शुद्धे ब्रह्मणि सर्वथा तत्समाधानमित्युक्तम् न तु चित्तस्य लालनम्. Here there are two words, sarvada and sarvatha. Sarvada is referring to the time. That means in all time. Sarvada is referring to the time, all time. And sarvatha is referring to situation. That in every way, in every situation, sarvatha. Always, in every situation, in every manner, in all manner. What is to be done every time and in every manner, what is to be done? Buddheः shuddhe brahmani sthapanam. That the buddhi should be always meditating on or thinking of or established on the Brahman. Now that is called samadhana. I said that this is normally it is possible in a non-interactive case, but no, it can be practiced in the interactive period also by incorporating, just as we discussed in the Buddhi Yoga. What are we doing? We are incorporating the dimension of the soul, the dimension of Brahman, the unchangingness, unaffectedness, all the impersonal, impartial dimension of the soul in our buddhi. By establishing those dimensions in the buddhi, what does it mean? The buddhi is anchored in the soul. Soul, there is no entity that you take the buddhi and put it there. You have to incorporate and cultivate those dimensions in the buddhi. That means anchorage of the buddhi in the soul. Buddhi is our faculty. It cannot be taken away and put in. The Brahman is not an object. So the qualities of that to be incorporated in the buddhi means buddhi is anchored there. So that is called, when we are able to do it sarvada and sarvatha, then it is called samadhana. That means we generally are doing it only partially. 1 hour a day we are meditating, maybe 1 hour we are reading the shastras. So only when we are peaceful we are doing. We are not doing when we are active. That means the interactive sadhana part is missing. Normally, we are doing this sadhana of incorporating, going into the Atma Sthiti or incorporating the dimension only when we are peaceful, either in meditation or we are sitting and reading or chanting or so. But what they are saying is sarvada, sarvatha, always. So how can we then work, Swamiji, if we are always thinking? No, you don't have to think. You change your mindset. That is what I am repeating this time, that bhavana, bhavana, bhavana. It is not through the manipulating the vrittis, the thoughts and all that we attain. It is, we generate the bhava of Brahman, the bhava of that all-pervading universalness, unchangingness, unaffectedness. Actually, we are not affected by anything. Why should you not be able to generate the unaffectedness? It becomes natural after some time. Initially we may have to try. We are like that. Anything happening, it will just, you will have the sakshi bhava, that yes, it is passing, it is going like that. Natu chittasya lalanam. This is a caution given. It is not just thinking of Brahman. See how beautifully they have put, but we miss these truths. If I had not discussed about Buddhi Yoga, I would have also missed it now while reading. Natu chittasya lalanam. It is chittasya lalanam means not to indulge in the thoughts. So they are not speaking about ordinary thoughts. There is no question of that. Because they are speaking for the seeker. That Shamadamadi Shadga Sampatti is for a seeker who has undergone Viveka and Vairagya. Even after Viveka and Vairagya also we enter into the Chittasya Lalanam, that is indulging in discussing about Brahman, reading about Brahman, lecturing on Brahman, making this kind of Vyakhyana of Brahman. None of these they are asking for. It is all Shabdajalam Maharanyam Chitta Brahmanakaranam Vaidushyam Vidusham Tadvat Bhuktaye Natu Muktaye. These are all bhoga. That explaining the truth in various ways is also a bhoga. It's not for liberation. So Natu Chittasya Lalanam means not only indulging in Brahma, Chinta, that is thoughts and pravachana on Brahma or reading or it's beautiful. If you go deep into it, it is giving all the cautions, all the insignia, all the suggestions. Tomorrow we'll do. So that is called samadhana. Because by lecturing, by writing on Brahman or truth, by writing on Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita, or by lecturing on that, or by reading, the mind will not get samadhana. When we are interacting, again we will be in the same soup. Samadhana will come from the Shraddha, which will generate the bhava, and by establishing ourselves in that bhava. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodhasvarupam Bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Hari. That's it. Prasannam sada nityabodhasvarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. See, nitya bodha swarupam, when we are always aware of that bodha swarupa, then prasannam becomes natural. We become prasanna. The placidity of the mind will always be there. The mind will remain placid. Whether there is suffering, dukkha, chaos, whatever, that placidity will still remain. It doesn't come by just stopping the thought. I am repeatedly saying because many people are running after that. मन शून्य बन जाता है, मन में कुछ चिंता ही नहीं है. अरे चिंता नहीं रहने से क्या होगा? जो बुद्धू मन वो बुद्धू ही रह जाएगा, फिर भी बुद्धू बन जाएगा. You have to have the bodha that in the no thought stage, if there is no awareness of the bodha, the consciousness, the atma, then that just the stoppage of the thought will not give us anything. So it is better to try through the bodha, not just to somehow stop the thoughts, fighting with the thoughts and get rid of the thoughts. The bodha should be there, nitya bodha swarupam. That is why in Yoga Sutra, after saying Yogash Chitta Vritti Nirodha, Yogash Chitta Vritti Nirodha means the yoga state is when there is no Chitta Vritti. Now people will be misunderstanding. No Chitta Vritti means yoga ho gaya. Nahi hota hai. People become, those who are very insensitive people, they can easily go to the Chitta Vritti Nirodha stage. Because they are insensitive about everything. Even if you die in front, they will not be careful. But that will not give. The next sutra he is saying, Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. What is happening when the chitta vritti is not there? The drashta is staying in its own, is in his own swarupa. That means the atma. So unless we are aware of the drashtu swarupa at that time, our swarupa, then that chitta vritti will not do anything. Chitta vritti nirodha, after saying that, we should not stop at that and do only chitta vritti nirodha. We have to understand that chitta vritti nirodha. After that we have to have at that point we have to have the bodha swarupa. If that bodha is missing, then that kind of a samadhi is not going to give us knowledge, the ultimate emancipation, freedom, nothing. In that case, every day by sleeping also we would have had knowledge. Deep sleep, there is no chitta vritti. Getting up, are you becoming knower? Or hatha, those who are by hatha prakriya, they remove the chitta vritti, they can remain a long time like that. When they get up again, they are the same people, nothing, no change happens. Ramakrishna Dev used to tell a story of a snake charmer. They play. While playing, his tongue went into the here, inside the breathe. What do you call it? The respiratory respiratory part. So the shwasa gets stopped there. See, he went into Jada Samadhi because the breathing stopped, and he remained. Then finally, by some kriya, when he was again brought back, or by the handling the tongue, or somehow it was done, he started saying lag 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 lag. In playing the snake, they say lag 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 is the common term they use for the snake to move and all. So he stopped, the breath was stopped while saying lag 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 lag. And the moment the breath came back, he started saying lag 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 lag. Why Ramakrishna Dev is saying that it will not of any use. There is no change at all. It is a hatha prakriya of chitta vritti nirodha. It will not give you any benefit.